If you're over 60 and up 3, 4, even 5 times a night, that isn't just aging. It's a signal. Up to 60% of men in their 60s and nearly 90% by their mid-80s struggle with prostate-related nighttime trips. But here's the twist most folks never hear. Your prostate isn't only reacting to time, it's reacting to what you put on your plate. Sip in your cup and do between sunrise and bedtime. Let's be clear and urgent. Chronic, low-grade inflammation quietly swells the gland, narrows the channel, and keeps your bladder on a hair trigger. The wrong foods and habits pour gasoline on that fire. The right ones cool it, often in weeks. What if a simple grocery store plan could help you sleep longer stretches, regain control, and feel years younger without piling on harsher meds? Before we dive in, talk to me. Comment. Ready with your biggest struggle urgency, weak stream, or sleepless nights. Then hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the step-by-step plan. I'm going to give you clear moves you can use tonight. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, MD, a practicing family physician and teacher of food as medicine. For decades, I've helped thousands of older adults turn scattered tips into simple routines that lower inflammation, balance hormones, and support healthy flow. My work has spanned clinics, community programs, and one-on-one coaching with veterans, teachers, truck drivers, and grandfathers who thought they were out of options. I believe in practical science you can do in your own kitchen and on your daily walk. No hype, no shame, just a clear path back to better nights and better days. Stay with me. In part 2, we'll start with a real patient story that exposes the hidden culprit and the small shift that unlocked his first 6-hour night in years. I met Henry in a crowded Tuesday clinic in Phoenix. 69. Retired construction foreman. Hands like oak. Eyes rimmed with the exhaustion of too many broken nights. Doc, I'm up 4, sometimes 5 times, he said, half joking, half defeated. His life had shrunk to a loop scout the nearest restroom, skip the afternoon coffee run with friends, keep a spare set of keys by the door because midnight walks to the bathroom had become a maze of foggy laps. He wasn't afraid of getting older. He was afraid of never sleeping through the night again. Like a lot of men, Henry assumed this was just age. He'd tried the usual route, a prescription that left him sluggish, an over-the-counter supplement he couldn't pronounce, and advice that boiled down to get used to it. What he hadn't tried was looking at the quiet habits that were steering his biology every day. What went on his plate, what filled his mug, and how he moved between sunup and bedtime. That's where our conversation started. We mapped his day in 15-minute blocks. 3 10-oz mugs of strong coffee before noon. A late lunch grabbed on the go, often processed deli meats and salty chips. Water intake loaded after dinner because daytime job site habits never left him. Lights out at 10:30 p.m. Then the carousel, 12:42, 10:03, 25, 4:45. Each wake-up tightened the noose on his energy the next day, and each tired day made nighttime worse. His bladder wasn't the only thing on a hair trigger. His whole system was. Here's what I told him. Plain and hopeful your prostate doesn't live in isolation. It listens to the chemistry of your blood, the pressure of your vessels, the signals of your nerves, and the rhythm of your hormones. When low-grade inflammation simmers, tissue swells. When timing is off, fluids late, stimulants early. Salt all day muscles around the bladder neck stay irritable. When nutrients that protect and repair run low, recovery stalls. The good news, those are levers we can pull in your own kitchen. Henry didn't need a lecture. He needed a plan he could see himself doing on a Tuesday. So we made a compact for the next 6 weeks. We'd test a simple protocol, small, repeatable, grocery store moves, smarter timing for hydration, and a calm evening routine. No heroics, no perfection. Just enough structure to give his body a chance to quiet down. Week 1 was about observation and rhythm, shifting most fluids to the first 2/3 of the day, trading 1 cup of coffee for something gentler, building dinner so it's satisfied without heavy salt, and protecting the last hour before bed dim lights. No screens, a brief walk after dishes. Week 2 layered 1 more change he could live with. Then week 3 another. The measure wasn't willpower, it was sleep blocks. Could he stretch 2 hours into 3, 3 into 4? By the end of week 3, Henry walked in with a different posture. "I only got up twice last night," he said. Not a miracle momentum. At 6 weeks, he hit his first 6-hour stretch in years. The man who'd planned his life around the bathroom started planning fishing trips with his grandson again. Same house, same job site stories, different defaults working for him instead of against him. This isn't the end of Henry's story. It's the beginning. In part 3, I'll show you what was happening under the hood. The biology that turns small daily choices into either constant irritation or real relief, and why a few targeted foods and minerals can flip that switch faster than you think. Here's what was happening under the hood for Henry and maybe for you. The prostate is a walnut-sized gland wrapped around the urethra. When low-grade inflammation smolders, the tissue swells, the channel narrows, and the bladder has to push harder. That irritability shows up as urgency, weak flow, and those 1:00 a.m. and 3:00 a.m. wake-ups. 3 forces usually drive this oxidative stress that rusts cells from the inside. Hormone signaling that leans toward dihydrotestosterone, DHT, and nervous system tone that keeps the smooth muscle around the bladder neck tight. Food and timing can push all 3 in the right direction. Start with cooked tomatoes. Lycopene lives inside tomato cell walls. Heat plus a little fat makes it far more available to your body. Once absorbed, lycopene helps quench oxidative stress inside the gland, so tissue swells less and the urethral tunnel stays more open. That's why a simple marinara made with olive oil shows up on my Tuesday night plan. It's not just dinner, it's targeted chemistry. Next, zinc. Your prostate holds more zinc than almost any organ, because zinc helps enzymes repair tissue and keeps hormone signaling from skewing toward excess DHT. Many men run a quiet zinc deficit after 60 due to absorption changes. 1 ounce of raw pumpkin seeds, about a small handful, can begin restocking that reserve over weeks. Better zinc status supports calmer tissue and steadier flow. Pomegranate works differently. Its polyphenols act like a cleanup crew for free radicals and help cool immune overactivation. When the chemistry inside the gland is less hot, men often notice fewer nighttime trips and an easier start to the stream. The key is dose and quality. A small glass of 100% unsweetened juice a few times per week, or a half cup of seeds on yogurt is plenty. Then we tackle smooth muscle tone. Green tea's catechins don't just protect cells, they help the autonomic nervous system relax the ring of muscle at the bladder neck. Swap one mid-morning coffee for an 812 Oz mug of brewed green tea, steeped about 3 minutes, and many men feel the difference within 2 weeks. Fewer false alarms, fewer sprint to the restroom moments. Finally, inflammation from the inside out. Omega-3 fats in salmon nudge inflammatory signals down throughout the body. When systemic inflammation cools, the prostate notices less pressure, less nighttime fragmentation, more comfortable days. 2 salmon dinners per week, grilled, baked, or broiled. Not deep fried, are enough for most men to start seeing momentum. Now, put the levers together with timing. Front-load hydration in the first 2/3 of the day so the bladder isn't overfilled at midnight. Ease off added salt so you don't hold extra fluid. Anchor dinner. 3 hours before lights out and protect the last hour dim lights. No screens. A short neighborhood walk. These are not heroic acts. They're rhythm resets that let your gland calm down. Life application. Phoenix Simple. Tuesday pasta night. Whole wheat or zucchini noodles with a skillet marinara. 2 cups crushed tomatoes simmered in olive oil and garlic. Add a side salad topped with 1 Oz pumpkin seeds. Thursday. Swap the second coffee for green tea and serve baked salmon with roasted broccoli. Saturday morning. Spoon 1/2 cup pomegranate seeds over Greek yogurt. Give this 2 weeks. Track 1 metric how many wake-ups. If 4 becomes 3 and 3 becomes 2, you're on the right track. In part 4, we'll flip the lens to the hidden risks that keep the fire burning, everyday foods and habits that seem harmless but quietly push the chemistry in the wrong direction, and how to phase them out without feeling deprived. I told Henry we'd cool the fire and then change the chemistry that kept it burning. Midway through the plan, I audited his afternoons. At 2:30 p.m., he grabbed a deli sandwich stacked with processed meats, a bag of salty chips, and washed it down with 2 sodas. Around 9:30 p.m., he topped the night with a tall glass of milk because he'd read hydration is health. His nights told the truth. 12, 42, 10, 325, 445. 4 trips like clockwork. Nothing was wrong with him. His inputs were screaming irritate, so we flipped 3 switches he could live with on a Tuesday. First, protein swap home-roasted chicken on whole grain bread with olive oil mayo, lettuce, tomato, and a few pickles for bite. Second, drink swap sparkling water with lemon instead of soda. Same fizz. None of the sugar rush that spikes insulin and pours fuel on inflammation. Third, timing, swap wrap all fluids by 6:30 p.m., then protect the last hour before bed dim lights. No screens. A 10-minute neighborhood walk to tell his nervous system stand down. I gave him numbers so he wasn't guessing. Sodium, under 300 milligrams per day, closer to 500 milligrams if you have hypertension. Caffeine, around 200 milligrams max. Cut off by 2 p.m. Keep one late afternoon ritual if you love it. Decaf green tea, brewed right, 8 Oz. Sipped slowly. For snacks, trade chips for 1 Oz unsalted nuts or sliced cucumbers with hummus. He didn't need perfection. He needed a rhythm his body could trust. Here's why this matters. Sodium pulls water into your bloodstream and keeps fluid on board, so your bladder faces a midnight surge. Sugar crashes and caffeine spikes make smooth muscle around the bladder neck twitchy, so you get more false alarms. Late fluids fill the tank just as you lie down. When we remove those accelerants, the helpful foods you add tomatoes, pumpkin seeds, pomegranate can finally do their job. Henry tracked 1 metric nighttime wake-ups. Week 2, 4 became 3. Week 4, 3 became 2. Same house, same bed, different chemistry. That progress wasn't luck. It was the sum of 3 consistent switches multiplied by better timing. I told him, now that the noise is down, we can push targeted levers and see real momentum. Your 2-week subtraction test is the same. Replace processed deli meats with home-cooked protein. Cap caffeine at 200 mg per day and cut it off by 2:00 p.m. Swap sugary drinks for sparkling water with lemon. Go dairy light after lunch. Taper fluids after 6 p.m. and keep alcohol 3 hours away from bedtime. Track 1 number, only nighttime wake-ups. If 4 becomes 3, you're winning. If 3 becomes 2, keep going. In Part 5, we'll turn dinner into targeted chemistry with heat-activated tomatoes that cool oxidative stress and help you stretch your sleep blocks. Tonight, we turn dinner into targeted chemistry with one simple move: cooked tomatoes. Raw tomatoes are great, but the magic for your prostate doesn't switch on until heat and a little oil unlock lycopene from the plant cell walls. Think of lycopene as a fire extinguisher for oxidative stress. When that rust from the inside cools down, tissue swells less, the urethral tunnel stays more open, and your bladder stops living on a hair trigger. Here's the biology in plain English. Lycopene is fat-soluble, so pairing heat with olive oil dramatically improves absorption. Inside the gland, lycopene helps neutralize free radicals and tempers inflammatory signaling that otherwise pushes the smooth muscle to clamp down. Lower irritation, calmer muscle tone, better flow. That's why a warm, tomato-based meal can feel different from a cold salad. The chemistry is simply more available. Henry was my proof of principle. He loved tomatoes, but only raw, thin slices on a turkey sandwich. We rebuilt dinner 3 nights a week. Tuesday, skillet marinara, made from 2 cups, canned crushed tomatoes, simmered 12 to 15 minutes with 1 tablespoon extra virgin olive oil, garlic, and a pinch of red pepper. Served over 1.5 cups zucchini noodles or 1 cup whole wheat pasta. Friday sheet pan roasted cherry tomatoes, 2 cups, tossed with 1 tablespoon olive oil. Salt, pepper at 400 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes alongside salmon. Sunday, a hearty tomato soup blended smooth, finished with a teaspoon of olive oil and fresh basil. 6 weeks later, he walked in saying, "Doc, I slept 6 hours straight, not magic. Mechanism plus consistency. Portion and timing matter." Aim for 4 to 6 ounces of cooked tomato products per serving, about 1/2 to 3/4 cup sauce, or 1 cup roasted tomatoes 3 to 4 times per week. Add a source of healthy fat olive oil, walnuts, or avocado to carry lycopene into your system. If you're watching carbs at dinner, lean on zucchini noodles, spaghetti squash, or a roasted vegetable tray instead of a giant bowl of pasta, and anchor that meal at least 3 hours before lights out so your bladder isn't battling late-night fluids. Quality matters. 2. Choose canned crushed tomatoes or tomato paste with no added sugar or seed oils. If reflux bothers you, go lower on red pepper. Add a pinch of baking soda to the sauce to soften acidity. And eat slowly. If you take blood thinners, keep your garlic and herb add-ins steady rather than erratic. We want routines your clinician can track. Let's make it practical. Build a tomato toolkit in your pantry. 2 28 Oz cans crushed tomatoes. 2 6 Oz cans tomato paste, a good olive oil, dried oregano, basil, and garlic powder. For nights you're tired, keep 1 bag of frozen zucchini spirals in the freezer and a box of whole wheat spaghetti in the cupboard so you can choose either path without overthinking. On busy nights, heat 1/2 cup sauce with 1 teaspoon olive oil and pour it over a reheated chicken breast from last night. 10 minutes, dinner done, chemistry delivered. How do you know it's working? Track one number for 2 weeks. Nighttime wake-ups. If 4 becomes 3 and 3 becomes 2, stay the course. If nothing changes, tighten timing less fluid after 6 p.m. and confirm portions. Remember, this is a lever, not a silver bullet. Real change stacks tomatoes for oxidative stress, better hydration timing for bladder calm, and the next lever zinc to stabilize hormone signaling inside the gland. In part 6, we'll add a small, powerful habit that most men overlook: a 1-ounce handful of pumpkin seeds, the simplest way to rebuild the zinc reserve your prostate depends on. From tomatoes and timing to rebuilding what your prostate relies on zinc. Henry's diet ran light on zinc, a mineral the prostate hoards for repair, hormone balance, and calmer inflammatory signaling. After 60 absorption drops and demands rise. That's why so many men drift into a quiet deficit without knowing it. The target is simple: about 11 milliliters of zinc per day. For adult men, food first beats pills for most folks. Our plan was practical. Every day. Henry measured 1 ounce of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds, about 2 tablespoons, 28 grams. That single habit delivers 2 to 3 milligrams of zinc, plus magnesium and phytosterols that support a calmer gland. We rounded out his plate so the whole system worked together: 2 salmon dinners per week, eggs 3 mornings, and an easy turkey and avocado lunch bowl. By week 3, the false alarms eased. By week 6, he sat through a full movie without leaving mid-show. Not a miracle, just steady deposits finally outpacing withdrawals. Here's the biology in plain English. Zinc is a cofactor for enzymes that repair DNA and keep prostate cells from overreacting to stress. It also helps keep the 5-alpha reductase pathway from leaning too hard toward DHT. Meanwhile, magnesium in pumpkin seeds relaxes smooth muscle tone at the bladder neck, and phytosterols compete with cholesterol in the gut, a small bonus for vessel health. Together, the message is clear: less irritation, better control. Portion and quality matter. Measure the serving so it doesn't creep 1 ounce on 2 TBSP 28 to raw. Keep seeds raw or dry roasted. Unsalted. If you like crunch, pre-portion a week's worth into small jars so a handful doesn't turn into 3. Rotate other zinc sources toward that 11 mg target. 2 large eggs, 1 mg. 3 oz salmon, 0.5 mg. 3 oz roasted chicken, 0.9 mg. Or a small can of tuna, 1 mg. If you eat lean beef, 3 can add 4-5 mg. Use it thoughtfully. What about supplements? Some men do well with 15 to 30 mg of zinc, picolinate or citrate for a short season, but food should carry the routine. Don't megadose high zinc for months, can deplete copper and upset your stomach. If you choose a pill, take it with food and talk to your clinician, especially if you're on medications for blood pressure, thyroid, or anticoagulation. Make this automatic with a simple 3-2-1 zinc rhythm for 14 days. 3 breakfasts with Greek yogurt, berries, and 1 TBSP pumpkin seeds. 2 lunches, a chopped kale lemon bowl topped with 1 TBSP seeds. 1 evening snack each week, an apple with a measured 1 ounce of seeds. Pair the habit with the green tea from Part 8 and the tomato dinners from Part 5, so levers stack. Study note, concise, reviews on pumpkin seed nutrients, zinc. Phytosterols in BPH report symptom relief via moderation of 5-alpha reductase and improved urinary metrics, from zinc reserves to ruby red protection. Now we bring in pomegranate. Think of it as a portable shield for your prostate, tucked inside each jewel-like seed. What makes pomegranate special isn't just its color. It's the polyphenols, especially punicoligins and ellagic acid, that act like a cleanup crew for free radicals while dialing down inflammatory signals that keep the gland irritable. When that background heat cools, tissue swells less, pressure eases off the urethral tunnel, and the bladder stops living on a hair trigger. Here's the biology in plain English. Oxidative stress and chronic inflammation push prostate cells into a reactive state. Pomegranate polyphenols neutralize those runaway molecules and help settle immune overactivation. On top of that, better endothelial function means smoother blood flow into the pelvis, bringing oxygen and nutrients that support repair. In practical terms, many men report fewer nighttime wake-ups and a calmer start to the stream after a few steady weeks. Gerald, a 74-year-old retired Navy officer in San Diego, came to me worried about a slow, steady drift in his PSA and a schedule ruled by bathroom runs. He wasn't a supplement guy, and he didn't want more pills. We kept it food first, 4 to 6 ounces of 100% unsweetened pomegranate juice. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Saturdays. A half cup of fresh arrows over Greek yogurt with a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds from Part 6. 12 weeks later, his sleep blocks had stretched, urgency had eased, and his PSA trend had stabilized instead of climbing. Was it only the pomegranate? Probably not. But it was a pivotal lever in a system designed to cool, repair, and restore. Dose, quality, and timing matter. Aim for one of these patterns. 1. 4 to 6 aza, about a half, 3 to quarter cup of 100% juice 3 times per week, or 2.5 cup arrows 3 to 4 times per week. Choose juice with no added sugar or flavors. The label should read 100% pomegranate. If you prefer the whole fruit, try the bowl of water method to loosen seeds without painting your kitchen red. Pair pomegranate with protein or healthy fat yogurt, cottage cheese, walnuts, or a turkey and avocado bowl so the natural sugars land gently and your energy stays steady. Let's talk safeguards. If you're on medications metabolized by the liver, certain blood thinners, blood pressure drugs, or statins, check with your clinician. Pomegranate, like grapefruit, may interact for some people. If you're watching blood sugar, keep portions modest and pair with protein. And if reflux is a frequent visitor, enjoy arrows with meals rather than on an empty stomach. Make it automatic with a Ruby routine for the next 14 days. MWF, 4 Oz cold-pressed pomegranate juice with lunch. Saturday breakfast, 1/2 cup arrows over Greek yogurt. Sunday dinner, toss arrows and chopped parsley over roasted salmon to marry anti-inflammatory omega-3s with polyphenols. Keep a small bottle of juice in the front of your fridge so the habit has zero friction. How do you track progress? 2 metrics nighttime wake-ups per week and your quarter-to-quarter PSA trend with your clinician. If 4 trips become 3 and 3 become 2, you're moving in the right direction. If your PSA stops inching upward, that's another signal your internal chemistry is cooling. We've cooled the fire tomatoes, rebuilt reserve zinc, and layered a shield pomegranate. Next, we'll relax the plumbing. In Part 8, I'll show you how a simple cup of properly brewed green tea helps the smooth muscle at the bladder neck stand down so you can move through your day without scouting every restroom on the map. We've cooled the chemistry and rebuilt reserves now. Let's relax the plumbing. A single, well-brewed cup of green tea can help the smooth muscle at the bladder neck stand down so you're not scouting every restroom on the map. This isn't folklore. Green tea is rich in catechins, especially EGCG, that temper inflammatory signals, protect the lining of your vessels, and support the autonomic balance that tells the bladder, you're safe. Empty fully. Rest. Here's the biology in plain English. When low-grade inflammation and nerve irritability keep that circular muscle tight, flow weakens and urgency rises. Catechins help lower oxidative stress inside the gland and improve endothelial function, which means smoother blood flow to the pelvis and calmer signaling around the urethral gate. The caffeine in green tea is modest, often 20 to 45 milligrams per 8 to 12 oz mug, far less than a strong coffee. Paired with L-theanine, it gives a steady lift without the jittery spike that can make the bladder twitchy. Brew it. Right so the medicine shows up. Heat water to 170-175 degrees F. Steep 2.5 3 minutes. Then pull the bag or strain the leaves. Oversteeping turns the cup bitter and can irritate a sensitive stomach. Add a squeeze of lemon to enhance catechen stability and absorption. Skip sugar and heavy creamers. If you like it cold, pour the hot brew over ice instead of buying bottled teas loaded with sweeteners. Timing is chemistry. 2. Swap your second coffee for green tea around 10:30 a.m. Keep total caffeine under about 200 milligrams a day and cut it off by 200 p.m. so your nights stay quiet. If you enjoy an afternoon ritual, use decaf green tea at 2:30 a.m. and sip it slowly. Oz is plenty. Pair the cup with protein and color a small apple, a handful of walnuts, or Greek yogurt so energy stays even. Henry was my proof. After 6 weeks of tomato-based dinners, we made one more change. He traded his late morning coffee for a properly brewed green tea, then stopped fluids after 6:30 p.m. 2 weeks later, the false alarms dropped. He still got a gentle lift, but the twitchiness faded. That wasn't luck. It was physiology responding to better inputs. Safety notes: if reflux visits often, keep the brew light and warm, not scalding. Sip with food. If you take iron supplements, separate them from tea by a couple of hours. If you're on medications and worry about interactions, check with your clinician. Green tea is generally well tolerated, but your plan should fit your story. Your 14-day Calm Cup routine, Monday to Friday. 1 8 to 12 Oz mug at 10:30 a.m. Brewed 170 to 175 degrees for 3 minutes. Finish with lemon. Optional 1 decaf mug at 2:30 p.m. Pair with the tomato dinners from part 5 and the zinc habit from part 6. Track 1 number nighttime wake-ups per week. If 4 becomes 3 and 3 becomes 2, you're moving the needle. In part 9, we'll bring anti-inflammation from the inside out with salmon, how 2 simple dinners a week can cool the system, support hormones, and help your nights stretch longer. You've cooled the chemistry with tomatoes, rebuilt reserves with zinc, and added a ruby red shield with pomegranate. Now, we turn down the inflammation from the inside out with salmon. This isn't just eat more fish. It's a specific, repeatable dinner lever that changes how your gland feels at midnight. Omega-3 fats in salmon, EPA and DHA nudge inflammatory messengers down, help blood vessels relax, and make cell membranes more fluid so signals don't stay stuck on irritate. When the background fire cools, tissue pressure eases, the urethral tunnel stays more open, and those 1:00 a.m. wake-ups start spacing out. Here's the biology in plain English. Your body turns fats into chemical signals. The typical American plate leans on omega-6 heavy oils that push pro-inflammatory pathways. Salmon supplies omega-3s that your cells use to build calmer signals, support endothelial function, and balance hormones you rely on for healthy flow. Add vitamin D, selenium, and high-quality protein, and you've got a dinner that works beyond the plate heart, brain, joints, and yes, your prostate. Henry was ready for this lever. We kept it simple: 2 salmon dinners per week for 6 weeks. Tuesday, he baked a 4 to 6 Oz skin-on fillet at 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. Brushed with 1 teaspoon extra virgin olive oil, lemon, garlic, and black pepper. Served it over roasted broccoli. Friday, he broiled a 4 Oz fillet for 6-8 minutes and finished with a squeeze of lemon and a spoon of warm tomato marinara from part 5. By week 3, he noticed fewer false alarms on his evening walk. By week 6, his first stretch of 5+ hours returned. Same house, same routine, different chemistry. Your playbook, no guesswork. Dose. Aim for 2 dinners per week. 3 to 5 oz cooked salmon, each about the size of your palm. Methods. Bake at 400 degrees, 10 to 12 minutes. Broil, 6 to 8 minutes. Or grill over medium heat, 3 to 4 minutes per side. Skip deep frying. It adds the very oils that fan the flames. Pairings. Marry salmon with tomato-based sides. Part 5. Or a sprinkle of pomegranate arils. Part 7. Add a ½ cup of roasted veggies and a small baked potato, or 1/2 cup quinoa. Pantry options. Quality frozen fillets are excellent. Canned salmon, packed in water, works on busy nights. Mix 4 oz with lemon, dill, and a tablespoon of olive oil mayo for a quick bowl. Taste fixes. If fishy bothers you, use lemon, dill, and a quick pat dry before cooking. Don't overcook. Pull at medium about 125-130 degrees internal. Safety notes. Salmon is generally low in mercury. Watch sodium in canned versions. If you're on blood thinners or have a bleeding disorder, discuss higher omega-3 intake with your clinician. Fish allergy. Keep the anti-inflammatory theme with walnuts from Part 8 and lean poultry while you work with your doctor on alternatives. Make it automatic with a 14-day 2 dinners rule. Put salmon on your calendar, for example. Tuesday and Friday. Buy both fillets on Sunday and set a reminder at 4:30 p.m. to thaw if frozen. Keep a small jar of lemon garlic rub next to your olive oil so the step takes 30 seconds, not 10 minutes. How do you know it's working? Track 1 number nighttime wake-ups. If 4 becomes 3 and 3 becomes 2, keep going. Jot a quick note about evening urgency and morning energy as a secondary signal. You're building momentum. We've reached the end of the 9-part plan. Next, I'll pull the whole system together. Food, timing, habits into one clear, emotional game plan you can follow this month, with a strong invitation to commit and a roadmap to keep your progress compounding. You just walked a complete food-first plan to calm an irritable prostate and take your nights back. We named the problem and proved it isn't just age, but chemistry you can change. Under the hood, you saw the levers cook tomatoes to cool oxidative stress, a measured ounce of pumpkin seeds to rebuild zinc, pomegranate to shield tissue, a properly brewed green tea to relax the bladder neck, and 2 salmon dinners a week to turn inflammation down from the inside out. We stripped away the saboteur's processed meats, sugary drinks, excess salt, and late fluids, and reset timing so your body can actually rest. Here's your next 14 days. Pick 2 tomato-based dinners. Swap your second coffee for green tea at 10:30 a.m. Add 1 measured ounce of pumpkin seeds most days, and schedule salmon on Tuesday and Friday. Layer pomegranate juice or arils 3 times a week. Front-load hydration before mid-afternoon. Taper after 600 p.m. And protect the last hour before bed dim lights. No screens. Short walk. Track 1 number nighttime wake-ups. If 4 becomes 3 and 3 becomes 2, Momentum is working. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman. I've watched veterans, teachers, truck drivers, and grandfathers reclaim quiet nights with ordinary moves done consistently. Now, it's your turn. Comment ready with your biggest hurdle, and I'll point you to the exact module to start. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with the one friend who needs hope tonight. Next episode, the 3 everyday drinks most men over 60 sip that quietly aggravate the prostate. Don't miss it. Save the video, print the checklist, and commit to the 14-day run. Small, repeatable steps change your chemistry, then your nights, then your life. Begin today.